73 wins runner-up, a humiliating title for a team with such a record. This extremely humiliating title was forcibly etched on the Warriors' foreheads. In 2016, when they were at the peak of their powers, they fell at the last step before achieving godlike status. Stephen Curry's legendary season also completely turned them into a laughingstock when Golden State was shrouded in endless despair. A shocking news that rocked the entire league suddenly swept in. In last season's Western Conference Finals, Kevin Durant, who was defeated by Curry after becoming a free agent, chose to leave the Thunder and join the 73-win Golden State Warriors. This upgraded the Warriors to a galactic battleship. The entire league trembled at this. All four starters were at an all-star level. 2 super scorers, 1 top-tier 3D shooter, and an intense, passionate DPOY. It would be hard not to win the championship with this, although the Warriors' roster on paper was already unbeatable. The issue of ball distribution between Durant and Curry was still a concern. Also came along, the core status of this Golden State totem was also challenged. In the 2016 to 2017 season, Curry's average points per game dropped to 25.6, a significant decline from last season's 30.2 points. However, with Durant an M-level scoring superstar, the Warriors' overall offensive efficiency actually increased, by the end of the season, achieving a terrifying record of 67 wins. However, after experiencing the 73 wins runner-up, they would no longer put all their focus on the regular season. In the regular season, the playoffs were their main battleground. They swept the Trailblazers in the first round. They averaged an 18-point win over their opponent. They swept again in the second round. They averaged a 15-point win over the Jazz. They swept the Western Conference Finals as well. Leonard's injury rendered the Spurs powerless. The third final showdown between the Warriors and Cavaliers arrived as scheduled. But this time, the Warriors had someone who could go toe-to-toe with James. The Cavaliers managed only 1 win in the 4th game, officially signed a 5-year $201 million max contract with the Warriors. Even with LeBron averaging a triple-double in the finals, they could not escape the fate of being swept in a gentleman's sweep. After 5 games, Durant was able to average dazzling numbers of 35, 28, 25, and 4. He outperformed Curry's 26, 8.9, and 4. He secured the Finals MVP award. He was truly a ruthless scoring machine. Throughout the entire playoffs, the Warriors posted a historic record of 16 wins and 1 loss. They successfully surpassed the 2001 record of the peak Shaq duo's 15 wins and 1 loss. This record has never been seen before, and it is unlikely to be matched in the future. Thus, the Galactic Warriors finished perfectly. Entering the next season, Curry ended his rookie contract, officially signed a 5-year $201 million maximum contract with the Warriors. This soul of Golden State finally received the rewards he deserved after years of hard work. Received the rewards deserved. In the regular season, they remained unstoppable. The pick and roll between Durant and Curry was lethal. The offensive wave of the Splash Brothers once overwhelmed all opponents in the league. In the first 2 rounds of the playoffs against the Spurs and Pelicans, they easily achieved a gentleman's sweep. Although in the Western Conference Finals, that year's peak, Rockets' bombarding system and their switching defenses caused quite a bit of trouble for the Warriors, but they ultimately advanced 43 without too much danger. Their opponent in the finals was still LeBron, but at this moment, he had already lost his primary helper Kyrie. Kevin Love was also a negligible presence. Even in Game 1, he scored an astonishing 51 points in a single game. But 2 fists couldn't match 4 hands. Ultimately, the Warriors swept them 40 with ease. CHAP achieved the feat of defending their title. In the FMVP selection, Curry still lost with a 4-7 vote count, narrowly losing to Durant in the race for the championship ring, but still did not receive the FEMVP that belonged to him. However, at this moment, the Warriors have 3 championships in 4 years. The seeds of the dynasty have already begun to sprout. In the upcoming offseason, the Warriors signed former number 1 center DeMarcus Cousins. This filled their weakest link. The roster on paper looked even more invincible. But that year they seemed destined for failure from the start. Injuries. These 2 terrifying words ran through the entire Warriors team. At the start of the season, Curry got injured. He could no longer play. During the 11 games he missed, even though the Warriors still had Durant and Thompson, the team's soul was absent. They still lost more than they won. They had lost the dominance they had last season. It wasn't until Curry returned that the Warriors gradually got back on track. But after overcoming injuries, internal strife followed. The conflict between Durant and Green in the locker room intensified. During the game, there were various grievances. Ultimately, they displayed the classic Green formula. "We were already champions before you arrived." A rift developed among the core members of the team. The team's chemistry was also affected, but their leader remained as steadfast as ever. Curry made a statement through his actions. His incredible performance. Every moment reminded them, no matter what conflicts arose, "First, let's win that damn championship, then we'll talk." The Warriors once again captured the top seed in the West. They advanced to the playoffs. In the first round, they faced the 8th-seeded Clippers. Everyone believed this would be a series without suspense, but in Game 2, they lost. The Clippers in Game 2 completed a miraculous 31-point comeback. The entire Warriors team paid a painful price for underestimating. They paid a heavy price. Cousins tore his quadriceps. Curry's form was erratic. Durant was still battling Beverly in various ways. The situation was supposed to be a sweep. They managed to play 6 games. Only then did they win with difficulty. The extra wasted energy only added to the injuries that followed. It laid the groundwork for future issues. In the second round, they faced their old rivals, the Rockets. As the confrontations intensified, Durant unfortunately strained his calf. Curry lost his strongest ally by his side. The world thought he would lose to the Rockets. But the three-point god broke the doubts once again. In every critical moment of the game, this baby-faced assassin would always step up. With the most chilling three-pointers, he extinguished the cheers echoing through the Toyota Center. He single-handedly led the team to defeat the powerful Rockets. Western Conference Finals Vs. Trailblazers double gunners. Lillard was thoroughly subdued by Curry. This guard with top-tier offensive skills. When facing Curry, it seemed like he forgot how to play. They easily swept 40. Stephen Curry led the Warriors to the finals once again. But this time, the opponent was no longer LeBron James. The only team left, after the Eastern Conference battle, was the Toronto Raptors. Due to Durant's absence, their strongest ace, Kawhi Leonard, became the most difficult challenge for the Warriors. After the first 2 games of the finals, facing a team making its first appearance in the finals, the defending champions were thoroughly suppressed, losing the first game by 11 points. They simply couldn't stop the offense of Siakam and Leonard. In the second game, although they narrowly won by 5 points, the worsening news was that Klay had also put himself at risk of injury, potentially sidelining him for the entire series. Without a doubt, the undermanned Warriors were already half a foot in the grave. The third game of the finals moved to Golden State. Curry unleashed an unprecedented fighting spirit. Facing the Raptors' tailor-made 14 set against him, he played almost the entire game. He stubbornly racked up 47 points. But the Raptors' forward group, combined with Gasol's playmaking ability, completely tore a hole in the Warriors' half-court defense. Their defense was practically non-existent. Ultimately, they lost by 14 points. Curry's 47 points ended up being meaningless. Welcome to the next one. Facing the Northern Beast's relentless bombardment. Even though Curry gave it his all, the Warriors, plagued by injuries, had no one left to use. They failed to hold on to their second home game. The series score reached a desperate 13. The Warriors' chances of a comeback were as tough as reaching the sky. If they lost another game, their dynasty dreams would truly be shattered. Facing a no-retreat situation, Durant chose to force himself back into play despite his injury. His return injected a strong dose of confidence into the team, but it was just the beginning of the second quarter. During an active on-on-one play, his Achilles tendon suddenly ruptured. Facing such a devastating injury, Durant could only leave the court in despair. However, his exit due to injury did not affect the Warriors or Curry. Instead, it ignited their fighting spirit. The Splash Brothers both awakened, respectively scoring 31 and 26 points. The fully engaged Warriors ultimately won by a narrow margin of 1 point, changing the score to 23, keeping the suspense alive. The 6th game of the finals kicked off in Golden State. The Warriors once closed the double-digit gap. Just as they were about to take the lead, a huge accident happened again. Klay was also injured. After his second landing, his left knee's cruciate ligament tore. Curry sat on the sidelines, looking at everything in despondence. He wished more than anything that this was just a dream. The brothers beside him were all uninjured, still fighting alongside him, battling until the last moment. Curry fought until he was exhausted. Yet in the end, they still lost. With the end of this painful season, the Warriors also experienced severe dynasty hangover. Durant left to join the Nets. Klay announced he would be sidelined indefinitely. The Splash Brothers of that year. Now only Curry remains alone. Not only that, the new season started with only 4 games played. Curry, unfortunately, suffered a hand fracture. This absence lasted a full 4 months. The team leader was away from the court for a long time. The integration of the new roster was truly disastrous. Plus, due to the pandemic, the league was suspended. In just 1 season, the Warriors went from a finals team to the bottom feeder of the league. Entering the next season, Curry's injury is fully healed. He has returned to his familiar all-encompassing style. But midway through the season, another wave of injuries hit the Warriors. Obra and Wiseman both were ruled out for the season. In order to make it back to the playoffs, Curry transformed into a scoring machine in the last 2 months. He completely morphed into a scoring demon, averaging 37.25, 75 points per game, the terrifying data of Antington CENDE. He managed to lead the team solo to the 8th seed in the West, but they lost 2 straight games in the play-in tournament. This meant they once again bid farewell to their season's journey. 2 years have passed, and everything has changed. The Warriors have fallen from their peak to the lowest valley. The world is waiting to see their joke unfold. But the Golden State Totem has not given up on the team. Instead, it stated to the camera, "Next season nobody wants to face us." This unbelievable statement made outsiders think Curry had gone mad. Without his 2 key helpers, a comeback. At that time, no one could have imagined that season, this baby-faced killer could rise to the top of the league again.